So, hello everyone. Welcome back to the World Kizomba podcast. Today we have a very special guest, someone I really love a lot, and we met years ago. But in the beginning, I do remember we were not very close. We spoke, but not very much, and something clicked in one moment. And since then, yeah, it's really a pleasure to know you, to talk to you, everything, man. So we have
the same for me.
We have Felicien. How do you say your last name? Can you say actually your full name?
Yeah, Felicien Rossa.
Rossa. Okay, Felicien Rossa. So we have Felicien Rossa today. You all know Felicien is also Felicien and Isabelle and Felicien. They're a beautiful Kizomba couple, which already for many years they're all over the world traveling, teaching, sharing their gifts, and it's a pleasure to have you today, man.
The same for me. I'm really happy to be here and to talk with you, especially during this period, this like really strange time.
Yeah.
So that's good to share some time together.
Yeah, nice to see you. So this is a good opportunity for me to also get to know you a little bit better because we know each other, but I like to go deep. I like to explore and share. So there's a good moment for that. But before we start, I like to do one thing, which is I like to just to feel, I don't know what you did before. I also did a few things, just to do a few breaths together, and then we can start, slowly, just to tune into our bodies. So get a few deep breaths together. If there's something stiff, we can move it. Face forward.
I love the preparation.
Yeah, it's always good to. Good. I feel relaxed. I feel ready to speak to you, bro. How do you feel now?
I'm good. I was with my son. He's sleeping right now. We should be quiet for at least 1 hour. So that's good. No, that's good. That's good. He has a heavy sleep. He's like his mother.
Hey, don't get there. She's gonna watch this.
Oh yeah, she knows. She's the one who sleeps the most. She can sleep 12, something like 12 hours in a row.
Wow.
And when I sleep 4 hours in a row, that's good. So and hopefully for us, he's more Liam. He's more like her than me. So he can sleep 10, almost 12 hours at night, and 2, sometimes 3 hours during the afternoon. So that's good. We're looking for that.
Yeah, especially if he's a kid, it's good for you that a kid sleeps long.
Yeah. And especially this time, because when we can move out and do things, that's good. But when we have to stay home, when you go to sleep, like, oh yes.
Nice. Since we're speaking about kids, I would like to start from the beginning. Where were you born?
Nice, good transition. I was born in France at Caen. It's a small city, a big city in Normandy, in the northwest of France.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the 11th of February, 1984. And that's it. And I lived there maybe 3 years before to move with my parents in French Polynesia for 7 years. So I spent most of my first years in French Polynesia, and we came back in France at my 11 or 10, 11, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And how would you describe your childhood?
Super good. I had the chance to spend most of my first years and the one I can remember in French Polynesia. So we were in a small island, Taha. Like you have to take the plane from France to French Polynesia, something like 24 hours, and then another flight from Tahiti, the capital, then to Raiatea in another small island, something like 1 or 2 hours, and then a boat, 2 or 3 hours, 2 hours of boat to go to the like tiny island, the complete turn of the island was 40 kilometers. So it
Wow.
was a super small island. And my parents were, and they still are, doctors. So they just were the main doctors in the island.
Mm.
So it was super cool. We were living side to a big jungle, and side to the sea, and it was like really interesting and warm, and nice people around. So it was like super far from the French habits and the French way to live. It was good. It was super good.
Mm.
I'm lucky.
Yeah. And what did you do as a kid? What did you do? Were you in sports or anything? Because
Oh, dang.
I'm curious about this part actually.
Yes, when I was most of the time in French Polynesia, it was playing with my friends, playing, swimming, trying to invent some medicine with like spraying and mixing all the thing we can find into the jungle, like herbs, plants, and everything. I, if I remember well, I did some judo. Yes, judo, maybe 1 or 2 years. When I came back in France, I studied karate for 1 year, something like that. And then around my 13 years, I started to dance. I discovered the dance. It was it was like totally randomly. I was with my father in what? I don't know. I don't know the name. Like a kind of retreat, and there was activities for kids. Hello, that's my wife. She will come to say hello later. Yes, there were some activities for kids and for people in general, and we were maybe 5, 6 kids, and there was some dance classes, but ballroom. So I tried. I was the only young guy. The average were around 60, something like that. So I just try, and I continue a little bit, few months, few weeks, few months, I don't remember.
How old were you then?
13. And then I discovered rock and roll after when I came back in the college. It was at the time of the college, around 15, something like that. I discovered rock and roll. And then from rock and roll, I studied rock and roll, Lindy Hop, Balboa, acrobatic rock and roll, all the swing dance. I could try this moment. So it was in this it was during my last years, because just before my diploma, the bac in French. In France is different. The name is different, but the final diploma you have for the first part of the school before the specific studies. The 4 last years, yes, I was dancing almost every day, something like that.
Well, what did you like? I'm curious, especially as a kid, 13 years old, being among old people.
I didn't think about the age of the people. I just wanted to try to dance.
So what did you like the most back then about dancing?
I don't know, maybe the fact if I remember well, I think it's the thing you learn something and you can apply a move leading someone. You can lead someone without to have to say something. And it's not something we learn really young usually. When we want something, and when we want to do something with someone, we have to say like, come with me, play with me, give me the ball, give me the match. And then I discovered another kind of language with people without to have to say anything, and faster than the way to speak. So I just have to give an information, a leading, and then the reaction is instant. So that was interesting. Plus the music, if I to play with the music.
Yeah, I feel I can relate with that, because when I started dancing, people don't believe me, but I was the shyest kid in my class in school in general. and I didn't want to speak, and sometimes I would not speak to anyone for a long, long time, in the whole school day. So when I discovered dancing, for me, dancing was also a way to just communicate without speaking, just really feel myself and feel the other person. So
Yeah, exactly. This kind of thing, this kind of feeling was really like super interesting.
yeah,
So I really liked it. Yeah,
nice.
and I was shy too. I am still shy when it's not about dance. I swear. I know.
I
I
believe,
know.
I know, I believe you, I believe you.
You're the same.
Yeah, which is funny. It's like after all these years of teaching and traveling, and I still feel shy in many areas. To if I would go now to a regular club, not a dance party, like a regular
Oh,
club,
they.
I would be very uncomfortable,
Yeah,
very often.
the same. Same. Exactly. Totally the same.
Yeah.
We talk about the dance challenge and everything. If I am, I will be. I wanted to join TikTok, the new social,
Ah,
the new for old guy like me, the new social network. And I see it's almost only about dance choreography to do everything. Damn, I cannot. I feel super uncomfortable to dance alone without a
mm,
partner.
mm.
So yeah.
Well, look, dude, I remember you in Croatia. We had this circle outside. You were dancing alone in the middle. You put the hair down. You were
I
doing.
don't,
So don't give me this. I
it
cannot
was
dance
not
alone.
completely we have to replay the situation in the right thing.
Uh,
No, it was a funny thing. It was not me dancing. It was
okay.
like a character. Like
Okay.
you untie the hair and you start to do some crazy thing.
Mm,
It's like and the crowd help. If you don't have the choice,
mm,
yes, you're in the middle of the crowd. Everything is looking at you. You're like, I learned
mm,
to react, even if I'm not good, if I don't feel comfortable.
mhm,
I learn. I learn. The thing is, when you're in front of the crowd, it's my opinion, just my opinion. But
mhm,
even if you do something not super good, if you were on a video alone, like everybody could say like, yeah, that's pretty shit, shitty.
mhm,
But in the middle of the crowd, if you just do some crazy steps or crazy move with the ambience, everybody will just scream and give you some strength, some power. That's it.
mm,
That's why people, the drunk guys in the party, they come drinking, dancing like this. There
mm.
is always someone to encourage them, like, yes, let's go, go on, continue, continue. It's not because of the beauty of the move or the technicity of the move. It's
Yeah.
just because of the ambience. So
Mm,
that's why. For this situation,
okay.
it's just because of that.
Okay. 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 I believe.
I will never do that in a regular party.
So when you say you were shy, well, you're still in many ways
Mhm.
shy. Me too. How was it to start teaching? How did you start teaching? Like this feeling of transition to, okay, now I have to speak to people, be in front of people. How was that for you?
Lucky for I was really lucky. Lucky for me, it was super smooth. I started to be super close to the assistant of my teacher.
Mm,
So I had one teacher like for the rock and roll who had a really nice, like super nice partner. Uh, I had something like I was 15 years old.
mm.
Oh yeah, so I was the youngest guy, the youngest people in the area, and she was 25, something like that, 23, 25. So it was just like a really good relationship, and she started to give classes on her own um, in a small dance school, and she asked me if I wanted to come just to show the move with her. So I
Mm,
started to show the moves without to say anything, and
mhm,
after a few weeks, I started to give some advices um, I prepared before, and then step by step I started to give information like more important and more things, to show more things, to take some, yeah, to not to take the lead of the class, but to take more space in the class as a
mhm.
teacher.
Nice. And how did you get to Kizomba? How did that begin?
Good question. Yes, I wanted to stop to dance actually.
Mm.
Because of Kizomba, I still dance. If not, without Kizomba, I should stop to dance 10 years ago, something like that, 10, 11 years ago. So how would I know, so before Kizomba, I had few dances before and few steps. I came from Caen to Paris in 2003 because I wanted to start to study osteopathy.
Mm-hmm.
So I came there, and just 1 year before to come, I started to dance salsa. I discovered salsa. It was mambo. The thing is, I wanted to dance salsa, but the thing is, in Caen we had only in these classes we had something like 2 guys or maybe 3, and 12 or 15 girls. So after, like in Kizomba, it was the first step of Kizomba. So our teacher decided to transform the salsa class, in a shine class. And I spent 8 months to do shines every night, like every week. So I wanted to stop. It was mambo. And then I moved to Paris, and Paris, a lot of friends told me, yes, you have to go to Pachanga. It's a nightclub, restaurant, super nice. There is good classes. And I mistook the day. Instead to go on the mambo night, I come to the Cuban night.
Yeah.
So, and I came in the Cuban night, and I started to take my classes. I was like, okay, I became a new beginner one more time because I didn't know anything about Cuban salsa. And then in 3 months, I started to feel good. And then I spent all my nights at the Pachanga club. And then after salsa, 2003 till 2010, something like that, I wanted to do something else. It was too difficult to learn Cuban salsa, like the real Cuban salsa. I went to Cuba sometime, like 3 times for 1 month. And I discovered the Cuban salsa I loved. And in France, in Europe, we don't dance the same way. Back on time, in 2010, everybody was dancing more European way and not the Cuban way. And the Cuban, yes, yeah, it was a mix with the guapela, like we touch the hand and we come back instead of grab the hand and do the thing I learned in Cuba at Santiago. And so I started to miss too much the Cuban salsa. I wanted to dance, and then I said like, okay. At this time, we didn't have the chance yet to have all these the really Cuban dancer, Cuban teacher coming from Cuba to France. So it was difficult to find a really good teacher. And even if we had a really good teachers, but not enough. So I said like, okay, I think I will stop to dance salsa and to spend money and time and energy going to festivals and going to Cuba to learn more. I like it. I was giving classes of salsa at this moment, but I think like, yes, maybe after 15 years of dancing, I could do something else. And I wanted to do climbing. I wanted to climb. I wanted to do monopalm, like the dolphin. When you swim, when you go to swim in the sea, you have the palm with the two feet. And the mono. With the feet.
You mean like scuba diving, snorkeling?
Yes, like snorkeling, but with monopalm. And I wanted to do something, some things like this, like completely different, because I from my 15 years to 25, something like that. I was really spending like 6 nights per week dancing. So I finished my study, my osteopathy study, and I was going directly to my classes, or to take classes, or to go to party, or going to festival and everything. So I was really spending like 250 days per year dancing, something like that.
So basically you were dancing and you left osteopathy completely aside, or you focused completely on dancing? And
I was trying to find the balance. At this moment I could do the 8-10 hours of studies per day plus my classes. I'm lucky since I started to dance. I was spending a lot of time out of my house, so I learned to not to sleep too much, so I can sleep like 3-5 hours every day. It can be enough. So I don't think it's good for my body, but my body learned how to
No,
manage.
it's not good for your
Yeah,
body. No,
I know.
not for my body, not for your body, not for
No,
anybody.
I know. But I could manage. So um, I could manage that, osteopathy and dance. And then
Kizomba,
when when I stopped to when I had my final diploma as osteopath, I started to work, and I opened one office, and I share another office with my best friend. And then I could still manage the dance in the osteopathy. I was working the day as osteopath and dancing all night long. And then when I met Kizomba, I stopped to practice the other dance. I was really focused on Kizomba at this moment. Then I met Isabelle. Then we started to teach something like 1 year after we met. And then I stopped osteopathy something like 5 years ago. Something like 4 or 5 years ago only. It was in osteopathy is like a lot of work. We have to stay focused and online. Like you have to stay, just like really focus. And spending all my weekends and all my nights teaching and doing creative stuff and traveling and everything, I didn't have the time to rest and to focus and center enough to work efficiently. So I didn't put enough energy in my office. So I prefer to stop.
Yeah, you mentioned sleeping, and I just want to add that I know many people that I know, at least, they say, yeah, we traveled the world. I said, yeah, we traveled the world, we teach. And there is this piece of not sleeping. And as much as it sounds attractive and, you dance all night, but there is no sleeping. And I support everyone to go dancing, go to festivals, parties, but there is this aspect which is, to be honest, is not healthy.
No,
It's not healthy for the body in the long
definitely not.
runs. And we do need sleep. And this is what I like about this quarantine now. I can sleep. I can sleep really well. It's been a while. You mentioned someone very important, which is Isabelle, and she's your wife now. Back
Yeah.
then, she was your partner, and so I wanted to ask you, how did you two meet?
Oh yeah, we met in the Agua party. Was the first Kizomba party in France. Actually, if we if we come back there, it was in 2009. I think I started in October 2009 to dance Kizomba, something like that. Yes, around. And Isabelle came with Moon, the Urban Keys dancer teacher. They were friends, they still are friends, and they came together at the party in January. And I saw her, and I invited her to dance. The first time was not super good, anyway. And then after a few weeks, we heard about the African Salsa competition in 2010. And my teacher was Victor from Kizomba.fr, the one who bring Kizomba in France. And Victor and Coralie, his partner and wife, we became friends. We came and we traveled together in Portugal to give some intensive like boot camp with Pechu, Vanessa, Quenda, Bandera, for all these teachers. And then we heard about African Tsar, and they told me, do it, like just try it. And I was like, we created a group with this teacher, Victor, and other friends of really motivated people. We wanted to share Kizomba, to spread Kizomba. And we created Kizomba in Your Life. It was a collective we created afterworks. We created afternoon in a restaurant. You can eat, dance all the afternoon every Sunday. So it was super cool. And we all decided in this group, except Victor and Coralie, we all decided to participate to African Dancer, even if we didn't feel that we had the level to be part of a competition and maybe win something, just because we wanted to spread Kizomba love and passion and show to people what we can do even after 3-4 months of practice. And then I was with I was in partnership with another girl, Monica, and then Isabelle was with Moon, and that's how we spent more time together. And then after the final, we all went in a disco where they play Kizomba all night, and then we started to dance and dance and dance, and we felt something. And then we started to dance, and every week, every party we could go. We went together. We went together. We went at the party and we met them. Sorry, and we were spending most of the time dancing together. And people were, are you together? Are you in couple? And we were not in couple at this moment. So and we were not dating on anything. Just there was some magic, some like a really strong connection.
There, yeah.
Yes, the chemistry was like obvious for everybody. It was like, no, we are not dating. We are not dating. And then after something like 6 months, we started to date. And yes, and that's how we started our relationship.
Beautiful story. Very, very movie-like story. You know, you meet in the bar, you meet in the club.
I will say something. I will just come back on one thing, because you say it's 45 minutes. Maybe we can extend. So I will I will start to extend.
Possible.
The thing, it's the real story of the first dance we had, Isabelle and me, just because people sometimes talk about connection, and they said to us, but for Isabelle and you, it's obvious you had the connection, so it would be always easy to dance together. And it's not, and you know that, like you can have a really good connection with someone, and 1 hour after, or 1 day after, or 1 week after, a really bad connection, and the opposite. The first dance we had, she started to dance with me, and after 1 minute, maybe 2 maximum, she's like, oh, sorry, I have to leave. My friend is calling me. And she left me in the middle of the dance floor. Look at and I was really, for me, it was like, she left me. Am I dancing like super bad? And I knew at this moment I was not dancing bad, because I already had some many people who were looking for me to dance with me at each party. So I could be a little bit more confident at this moment, but hopefully for that. So I tried to not take it personally, but I didn't dance with her during something like 2 months after, till the African competition. And yes, for the first dance, it was super, super bad. The connection were absolutely not here. She was super stressed because it was her first party in Kizomba, and she didn't learn any steps. She didn't take any class of Kizomba, never. So she was super stressed. I was impressed, and I am shy, as I told you, like I am shy. So I was, okay, I will invite her. Let's go. I go. And I was almost like, do you want to dance with me? So it was super, super weird. She was stressed. I was impressed. It was super bad. And then after a few weeks, it was better.
It was better.
So the connection can evolve, always.
Oh, definitely, man. And it's also, I do know when I travel to events and people always say, I hear this very often, Carl, you're a professional dancer. All your dances must be amazing. Always, every dance is amazing connection. I said, no, not really. And especially that I mean, it's not like I search for this deep connection every time. Sometimes it's just fun, you know. Sometimes
Yeah, exactly.
fun. But this beginning, like you said, sometimes it takes time. Sometimes you dance with someone, it takes maybe a week or two to click it, and then it turns into magic. So
Exactly.
yeah,
I think it's something really like it's exactly the same than a normal relationship. You create something, and sometimes it's instant, and sometimes like for us, for you and me, for example, we met. It was like nothing special. It was funny at this moment, but and that's it. And then we stay in touch, but like twice per year, and then once, boom.
Yeah, true.
So it's exactly the same.
True. Yeah, and we can each. This is something, at least what I share with people that I work with or teach. It's like you come one day to a dance club. You come from work. You don't know how the day was before of your partner. You don't know what mood they are, what they ate, what was the alignment of the moon that day. And one day can be amazing. The next day,
Yeah.
So I would like to stay a little bit more with Isabelle and you, and I would like to ask, what is the quality you admire the most about your wife, dance partner?
The quality, it's easy. It's the way she evolves, the way she can. Um, I know how to say in French, but not in English. When she can um, come back on knowledge she had or things she she trusts, and she can come back and change it and rethink about it and change it sometimes. So her faculty of discussion and changing her mind if she needs it. That's one of the most important thing, and that's one of, for me, that's, I think, one of the most important thing who allowed us to stay together and to evolve together. So we had like completely different way to act, to think, to plan future and everything, and hopefully for us, we found the way to talk and to share feelings and way to think together and to evolve, and we can evolve together. So that's why, because we have to always like every week, every month, almost every day, we have to come back online. Like we are, if I just take like a 2D plan, we are moving like this step by step, and sometimes one will move a lot and the other one will move maybe after more, and we have to come back. So instead of moving and waiting, or just moving and see how it will move and it will goes, we try all the time to catch the other. So ideally going up and growing together, but sometimes we have to come back, but always adapting to stay together and to stay most of the time connected. So yes, her way to be able to listen, to think about it, and to sometimes accept she can be right or she can be wrong. So that's one of the most quality.
So what I hear you say is that communication, the quality of the communication you have is important.
Yes.
What kept you?
But the communication is important, but the fact the other in front of you, well, like the same for you, but we can change our mind. If we can communicate, I can tell you something, you can listen, accept it, but but stay on your position. Okay, like I like chocolate. Okay, I don't like chocolate. I don't care. So it's not about taste, but
to keep an open mind. You mean
exactly
that's something.
So she can say, I won't give you an example, but we can talk about something. She will say like, okay, I'm not sure to be agree, or I don't agree, and then she will think about it, and maybe a few hours, a few days, a few months after, she was like, finally we can do something together, and then we find the way to continue together. So that's for us the most important thing, I think, because like this we could evolve in this like really specific situation we are, since 10 days, 10 years together.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful foundation to have, the communication and also an
Yeah.
open mind, which I also love about my partner. And when I hear about Isabelle, it reminds me a bit of Nicole and how we communicate, and the importance of being open that we might be wrong or right. And it's not even the most important thing. Are we
No,
right or wrong? It's really not the most important thing at all, but just to be open to inspire also each other to grow and to find, okay, how can we improve this? It's beautiful.
exactly.
Especially with you two, because you two live together, you also travel together,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
a huge, huge,
That's crazy.
yeah.
Honestly, I don't remember. I think after 5 years, something like 5 or 6 years, we started to calculate a little bit the time we spend together compared to a regular couple. I mean, regular, it's like someone who lives together, but they will go to work in the morning and come back at night, and finally you spend. If you're lucky, you can spend 30 minutes, 1 hour in the morning with someone, but preparing, so not really together. And at night, you come back around 7, 8. You can stay awake till 10, 11, something like that. So you spend, like, you really spend maybe 3, 4 hours maximum per day. And on these 4 hours, maybe 1 or 2 hours of quality moment. With Isabelle, we had the chance, at the beginning, she was working, but she stopped to work in 2014, so after 4 years. And even like this, because we were traveling all together and teaching at night and everything, we had the chance to spend something like, I think we could spend around 5 or 6 times more time together than a normal couple. So after 5 years, we accumulate something like 25 years of practice of couple. It was crazy. Plus so the time together, the quality moment together, the quality time together, and the fact we live like really like special life, because we travel, we visit a lot of places, we meet a lot of people, everybody's giving love to us in a really strong and specific and like rare way. So it's something super strong. So it helps to make the relationship stronger. So yeah, so 10 years like this, it's almost a life already.
Yeah, it almost sounds like this kind of life. It puts you in a situation which you have to. There's not a choice but to find a way that make it work, whatever that is.
Exactly.
Otherwise, and this I feel now with Corona, because everyone is at home. I feel most couples, at least that I know, have to find a way to work together, or it's going to be a mess.
And that's why
Beautiful opportunity.
They did some statistic in France. We had something like 35 or 40% more tension in couples than usually, because yes, for most of the people, they are together since years, decades sometimes, but because they didn't spend a lot of time together each day, they didn't have to find a way. It's like when, if for example, if we decided to spend 1 month together, you and me, yeah, it's easy to spend few hours per day during even like 10 days, like in Croatia, because we spend 2 or 3 hours together, then we can leave, we have our space and everything. But once you have to live with someone like 24 hours per day, you really have to find the way to live together. So, and we already found it, so that's good for us. It's
good.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's why I said I think it's a beautiful opportunity this period now to learn many things.
To learn how to live with our family. That's weird to say.
Yeah. I want to ask you, you mentioned the beginnings of Kizomba in France, and I'm curious, how do you feel about the Kizomba back then, in those days, and the Kizomba now? And also because, no, I am curious.
That's a good question.
Yeah, because also there is Kizomba now, and there's also Urban Kiz now, and there's an opinion, which I'm curious what you have. How do you feel about Kizomba in general? Is it all just like different ways of dancing Kizomba, or is it styles? I'm curious, how do you feel about this, especially because you live in France?
At this back in time, at the beginning, I really loved Kizomba because of the connection in people, and everybody wanted to spread the dance, to have more opportunities to dance. Today, no, not today, but 2 months ago, when I wanted to go to dance in Paris, I have many opportunities every day. So that's crazy. And now, 10 years ago, when it started in 2009, it was one party per week. And we had something like from 10 to 2, something like that, like 4 hours of practice. That's it. So we were looking for the maximum of possibility to dance and to practice and to learn things and to develop the community. The connection with people, the connection when we danced Kizomba was the same with the whole community. Everybody wanted to practice, or almost everybody wanted to practice and to evolve the same way. We wanted to dance. We wanted to become better. We wanted to have more party and more possibility to dance, and more people in the community. And everybody was moving the same way. Now, that's normal, but now there is people who want to shine. There is people who want to dance. There is people who look for technicity only, connection only. There were people who just want to dance and they don't care about anything, musicality, technicity, connection. They just want to spend a good time together. There are people who look for partner, life partner. There want people who look for money or shine or famous or fame. So because of that, there is too many groups in the same party for me. And plus now they divided these groups, they divided with urban kids, fusion, Kizomba, the retro or classic Kizomba, if we use the term of Ricardo, the classic Kizomba. All these parties are not together now anymore, just separated. So even if you like all the style, you have to choose one. That for me, that's the thing who I really feel bad about it. Now, it's the thing is I love to dance modern Kizomba, like the one we heard most. But I learn how to love classic Kizomba and also samba and sometimes urban also. But like it should be balanced, like the first years. At the beginning, everybody was dancing everything because you don't have the choice. You're in the party. They will always have Afro house session, samba session, really slow session, energetic Kizomba, classic Kizomba. So,
well, what do you think changed so this happened? What changed
the
that you
specificity.
feel?
I think at the beginning, because we were like much less teachers, it was easy. Like it was more easy to become famous or to become teacher. And after a few years, more teachers, so less space to shine. So people had to create something or to bring something new. So that's, for me, that's natural. Everything has to evolve. And in the evolution, there is a part of mutation. But the thing is, with the will or willness, when you want something,
the will.
With the will to become famous and to have work and to make money and to travel and everything, people become teachers for not the best reasons. So they will find a way to bring something new, even if it's not the best way to share something together.
Yeah, and I agree with this part of because now there's more teachers, more competition, so to speak. There's more, I guess, desire from many to then, okay, let's, the demos are becoming very shiny, very showy, And in this sense, I can understand you. People want to stand out, and I completely support that. Okay, you want to be creative, you want to be seen, you want to succeed. But at the same time, I do notice it's becoming a bit of, especially for beginners. I feel if you're a beginner, if you see something like this, that can be very challenging. It could be also very confusing. I feel for beginners. What
Totally.
do I see? How should I even do this? Is it this possible? Is this where I want to be? Is this Kizomba?
Yeah.
Maybe the main question.
Which kind of dance is it? Which kind of style is it? Can I do it? Can I do it with everybody? With who do I have to learn that? Is there another way to do?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I remember in Croatia we had this talk outside. We spoke about. I remember. I think I asked a question, someone else or Ricardo, but the theme was demos. Like, so how do we dance demos today? I'm like, I'm also sometimes like, should I? Okay, I have this vocabulary, all these moves, but I don't want to do everything in 4 minutes. I just want to do a few things. But then you have to think about this aspect. Okay, there's a market, there is a competition, there is this. Me personally, sometimes I don't even know how to dance a demo anymore. I don't even know, should I show, what should I show? Because there's a lot of visual now aspects, and I don't want to lose the connection. Maybe that's the main thing.
yeah, the same thing for us. We had this discussion and the thought with Isabelle something like 2 years ago, I think, just after the pregnancy and the break we took for the pregnancy and for our son. Isabelle stopped to dance for 5 months, 4 or 5 months, something like that. And I continued to travel alone, but we had many less bookings because we didn't have any videos for 6 months. I only danced with Isabelle, so I never did a demo with someone else. So during 5-6 months, no demo. So when you disappear from the screen of the people, you disappear from their heart for most of them, not all of them, or hopefully, but most of them. And the same for the organizers. So we said like, okay, we want to come back on stage, we want to go back in the game, but we cannot just come back like this. We have to shine a little bit more, like stronger, just for a few months, the time to come back in the mind of people, of organizer and dancers. And the question was, okay, do we have to change the way we dance and maybe lose the Kizomba essence we love? Or do we have to just continue in the way we did before? And finally, we tried a mix, not a mix, an evolution of the way we dance, including more like shiny moves, but still in the Kizomba connection, leading and way we danced before. So a lot of moves, for example, if we take Cuban Kiss, they use a lot of bachata, Brazilian zouk move, West Coast swing move, all of the things, the salsa also, because they can mix everything. And the thing is, we can use some of those moves with a different leading. And if we adapt and we mix those moves, like for tango, the same, we can still stay in the Kizomba essence, but with more shiny moves. So we had to evolve a little bit, because like for you, as you said, when I do a demo, if it's just for me, if it's just about what I want to show to people, I can do a demo with basic steps and walk. That's it. And just to show how to use the music, how to play with the feelings and the connection with my partner. But it's not, it can be beautiful for people here with you at the class, but not for the video and the people who will watch the video on the social network. So because of the market, yes, we have to evolve also.
Yeah, and thank you for being honest about this, because I feel this topic, you speak to your colleagues, with me, or I also speak to other teachers, but I feel this topic sometimes is good to put in the public, just so people can also understand, we love what we do. We of course want to give more to people, and we do. It's not always easy to be in this market, to continue doing this, and sometimes it takes sacrifices, and we're trying to stay, at least I know you are to keep this essence of Kizomba, which is connection. At least
Yeah.
this is how I see it. And then over that we want to put, of course, we can shine. It's good to shine sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. But it should be sometimes, like
Yeah.
you said, exactly the same word that you said. It's like if it's sometimes, I like to show off sometimes. Like the music is super powerful. It makes me feel super like strong or something. I have a good partner at this moment. I am in the party. Yes, I will try to shine. I will show off a little bit. Okay, I will show my technical moves. I will go super fast and super technically. But most of the time, like 99% of the time, with the people with who I have a good connection or not, I prefer to stay with like super nice and almost basic moves, because it's like this we feel the connection. So if you want to show off, there is technical dancers who love to show off and use technical and difficult steps. It's not the way I love to dance. So, and I would love to be allowed to dance and to show on the demo and the video only the way I love to dance. But because of the market, we have to adapt a little bit.
But do you feel it's really the market, or is it because, for example, I know in the tango community, I spent many years there, and what is fascinating about the tango community, if there's let's call it a demo or a show in the milonga, sometimes the couples are doing the most basic things like walking or ochos, or let's call it basic, like the more grounded foundation of things. And I do know that in that community people value that step and the basics very strongly. And this is something I feel I would love to, even now as we speak, I feel it's a good moment for people to hear that. The importance of paying attention to the basic and the beauty of the basic, and also the complexity of the basic, because basic you can do your whole life and improve on it.
Totally.
And we can do tricks and shines, but this foundation, like it's so deep. It's such a beautiful thing to see if a couple has that foundation, the connection with not just with each other, but also with the ground, with the music. And you can do actually more. We can do more basic things, and people would like really appreciate that, which I would love to see more with our community.
The thing is with Kizomba, I had this discussion many times with many teachers, dancers, students, and everything. For my opinion, the thing is, the problem comes from the fact, one more time, a lot of teachers start to teach for different reasons, and money and fame are not a good reason. It's not strong enough to push you in your technique enough to transmit the right information and the real strong and precise techniques to start. I will try to explain a little bit easier. There is too much teachers without enough background. I'm sorry if people feel I'm judging anybody, but for me, there is too much teachers with not enough background to understand how the work, how the connection works, how the leading works, and they just say how many times I attend to classes. And I heard people saying like, okay, now you walk forward and then you push your partner, make her turn, then woman side out without any explanation about the weight transfer, the connection, how to transmit the information, to understand the information, all the details we explain in the classes. And because of that, most of now, at least in Paris, I see that with regular students and regular dancer I see in the party I go, most of the people, they just know how to do something together, but they don't understand how it works. So they will know, okay, woman Saida, I go out on 2, I come back on 4, mark on 5, that's it. But they don't even know then they can modify the saida just super easily, like make it longer, shorter, with different direction, because how their teacher didn't open their eyes and the mind to that options, because they didn't explain how the move work. It's like a recipe. If I give you the recipe for a cake, I give the ingredients, I tell you, okay, put it together, mix, that's it, and cook it. If I explain how to mix the thing in which order, how you can modify the taste of your cake, you will understand, and you can do it by yourself after and make it evolve. And without this background, the students and the people who attend classes and who watch the demo, they cannot understand the beauty of a step with a slight modification. If I do a bigger step and then a smaller step, they would just see 2 steps. And then if you understand how it works, you say, oh, he give more energy and then less energy, play with that. According to the music, they follow, she followed him. That's beautiful. You know what I mean? Well, you know what I mean.
Well, it's basically going deep into all, into these things, really study and going into the basics and the importance of that basics. And I know you say this not to judge, but I know you say this like me to make people learn, because we want them to grow, to understand the importance of this and the beauty of
that. I know we have regular classes in Paris, and the 5 first years we were something like 80 per classes. It was crazy. And it was super surprising for us. And now since Urban Kids appeared, we had less people. Now we have classes with 15, 20 people in the most advanced classes. And I can spend 1 hour and a half. We have classes of 1 hour and a half. I can spend 45 minutes explaining the difference on the ocho or on the rotation, in the different kind of speed we can put in the same move, or the different strength or different angle. And I know most of the people will say like, yeah, I don't care. I just want to know how to make my partner turn. And back in time, most of the people were interested in. When I took classes with Victor, and my first classes of Kizomba, with Victor, with Tekesh, with them at the beginning, we were really like, when it was this kind of experience, I was like, whoa, that's the key of the understanding of the move. I want to practice that. And we could practice the same move like 10, 15 minutes in a row. Now it's not possible anymore.
Yeah, I feel honestly we can talk about this all day because I love this topic in general, and I feel there's so much to learn and to grow in this, but also recommend to people explore,
Yeah.
But I also know we are closing to the end.
I know.
I just wanted to check in before I start the last section. Is anyone else in your house there? Maybe.
Right now they're I think they're busy in the kitchen, so we good.
Okay. So I'm gonna do the last piece, which is question and answer. So I'll ask you a question, you will answer whatever first comes to your mind.
Okay, I will try.
Quick.
Do my best.
Yeah. So what is your favorite word?
My favorite
word, like
word.
Yeah, word.
French or English?
Whatever. How do you feel?
Shit.
Merde.
Yeah, merde. Shit. It's like and more now since I have a son, because I don't have to say it. But yeah. I say I'm really I can be really vulgar. I can say like I can say shit for anything. I take my phone, I try to turn it on. My phone will not respond. Shit, and so for nothing.
Okay.
There is a feeling. Shit, all the time. I have to control it.
Okay, what turns you on? What excites you in life?
New experiences. In all it can be a new food to discover when I travel, can be a new extreme sport or new sensation. The first time I ride a wheel, it was in Asia, in Hong Kong, a guy came in our classes, and he was with this thing, the gyroscopic wheel, the self-balance wheel, and I saw it. I was like, I want to try it. So the food, I love to discover the favorite dishes of the organizers or people who invited to eat. I skydive, I scuba diving, I do all the things I can try. I climb. I have a kid. All the experiences.
Okay, who is your favorite singer or favorite artist? Band.
It's difficult. In Kizomba or in general?
Yeah, name one.
General Bruno Mars.
Good job.
I saw it. I saw him in concert twice or three times in Paris. For me, it's still the one of the best artists in life for me.
Nice.
And in Kizomba, it's like Mika Mendes is one of the who pops in my mind because of his first song, my favorite song since 10 years, Kriya. So, voilà.
Nice. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
What profession?
Other than your own. So what other profession in life you maybe want to try but you never did?
Coach, life coach and sport coach, something like that. Coaching. I am moving to coaching a little bit in sport first with some friends and some people like this. Like I try, and and life coach, something like that, to help people to understand what the thing I could learn by myself. And also because it will help me and force me to continue to evolve and to make my mind grow.
Beautiful. The last question. If you were a superhero, what would be your superpower?
Flying. Flying or moving time.
Moving time. Past or future?
Moving time. Okay. Why to have to choose?
No, I'm curious. No, where would you go first?
More past.
Okay.
Yeah, because I would like to change some things that are really basic things. Like, for example, if I was coach, I would come to coach the first people who think about capitalism, and maybe make them change a little bit to not have this situation we have now. So it's like idealistic things. I would love to do something like that.
Nice.
Some corrections.
Nice. Well, Felicien, first of all, thank you for finding the time, and I know it's not easy for you to find the time with your kids. And
thanks to you.
Yeah, thank you for joining this podcast. Thank you for all being so open to share what your opinion, what you feel about dance. It's very beautiful to hear you do that. And also I want to use the opportunity to honor you for, first of all, the man that you are, the beautiful man and very kind man that I know you are, and also for everything that you did for the Kizomba community, because you and your wife Isabelle, you did really a lot and spread this culture across the world in your own way. So I want to honor you for that.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate. I love the time we had together. So I really hope we will find the time to have this same time, but like in private.
Yes.
Because it's like super difficult.
Yes.
I realized that it was a real pleasure. I really love you. You know that. I told you already, but now the entire world will know it. So I'm really pissed off the situation of the quarantine, because we will have many festivals together who will like just skip. But I know we'll stay in touch for a long time, so so no problem for that. So thank you for the time, and thank you for the invitation.
Love you, man, too. And also, I know your wife couldn't join us in this moment, but send her big hellos from me.
I will.
And wish you also a beautiful day.
Thank you very much. Take care, and we stay in touch.
Yeah, take care. Bye.
Bye.